Hello everyone! Welcome to my YouTube channel, Zea Chou's Stories for Kids. Today's episode named The Green Hedgehog. One night before going to bed, a 5-year-old girl named Zea Chou was often told interesting stories by her grandmother. Today's story is a bit different because Zea Chou's grandmother was asking her some interactive questions rather than telling the story straight to the end. Zea's grandmother said,
There was a mischievous, ludicrous, and smart-alecky 5-year-old boy who always teased his friends, tried to disrupt and break their school things in his kindergarten class. But when his friends told the teacher, he lied that he didn't do anything. There weren't any surveillance cameras in this class because it was a very small and poor campus. We can't double-check anything. So the boy was very satisfied with his lying skill. After playfully teasing his friends, if they yelled and reacted angrily with him, the boy ended with a rude and gruff voice.
I'm just kidding. Why are you so serious?
One day, the fairy appeared while the boy was sleeping. She flew into his dream and used magic to turn him into a green hedgehog. The fairy said,
If you can find a friend who agrees to hug you, you will turn back into a human boy, otherwise you will be a green hedgehog forever.
Waking up in the morning, the boy saw that he had already turned into a green hedgehog with many sharp spikes. He was startled and cried until his parents came to reassure him. It took a long time for the green hedgehog's parents to be calmed and realized what was happening to their son. After understanding the story, the hedgehog boy's parents suddenly stretched their arms and hugged him. But this did not work. Do you know why? Zea
answered,
Because the fairy made a rule that the green hedgehog boy must hug everyone in class.
Grandma continued,
That's right. So the green hedgehog's parents took him to class and explained everything to the teacher. After understanding the situation, the kind teacher began to stretch her arms around the green hedgehog and hugged him even though his sharp thorns stabbed into her body. But the boy still did not get the human body back. The teacher is also one of the person in the class. But why didn't it work? Zea
replied quickly,
It should be one of his classmates, Grandma.
That's correct.
Grandma fetched a sigh.
Certainly, the classmates did not want to hug the spiky hedgehog boy, partly because if the porcupine's thorns pricked someone, it would be very painful. And the other reason was because the boy had been very mean and he had bullied his classmates before. In the end of that whole day, no one wanted to hug that boy. He went back home after being picked up by his parents with a sad face and a depressing heart. The green hedgehog boy's parents couldn't convince his classmates to hug their child either because they seemed scared of him. His parents soon gave up because their business was too busy. That night, he met the fairy in his dream and cried.
How can they agree to hug me, fairy?
But the fairy just laughed and responded,
I will give you a hint. You should observe the reason why your classmates can smile at each other.
The next day, the hedgehog boy went to class and sat quietly in a corner to observe and find the answer to what the fairy suggested to him because he did not want to be rejected by all his classmates anymore. That day, he saw Susan smiling at Helen because she was given her favorite chocolate lollipop.
Wow.
John smiled and said thank you to Rosie for being lent her a pencil. Jenna was very excited and happy when Nikki gave her the frog made of paper. So the little green hedgehog thought,
Should I do something like that for them so they will hug me?
The hedgehog boy immediately imitated Helen, Rosie and Nikki, but Susan, John, or Jenna still refused to hug him. Do you know why, Zea?
Zea answered after a few seconds of thinking.
Because porcupine's spines still made them hurt, Grandma.
Grandma answered,
Exactly. They couldn't forget the hedgehog boy's bullying just because of a candy, a lollipop, or a toy frog. The climax was that the green hedgehog boy wanted to help Doris blow a balloon, but the hedgehog's sharp spikes bursted and this made her cry loudly. A few days later, when the class went on a field trip, suddenly a huge rat ran into the girls' tent and this made them scream. The teacher was also very afraid of rats too, so she panicked. Unconsciously, she didn't know what to do when suddenly the green hedgehog boy quickly curled up and rolled towards the big rat, then it ran away because of its pain. In fact, the green hedgehog boy is not only mean but also very smart. Zea, is it right? Do you know what happened next?
Zea thought carefully.
I think his classmates also want to hug the green hedgehog boy because he saved the girls from the big rat.
Grandma asked,
If you were one of those girls, would you hug the green hedgehog boy?
Zea thought for a moment and then said,
I'll wrap the blanket around the hedgehog boy and hug him.
Grandma smiled as her usual smiles and ended the story.
Under the warm sunset light of their camping day, the girls who were saved by the green hedgehog boy took their towels, their jackets, their scarves and wrapped them around him and hugged him as a warm thank you. After that, he turned back into a human body boy, did not forget to thank them and apologize for his being rude before. He didn't say sorry because his classmates helped him, but for some reasons else. Do you know why, Zea?
Zea thought a few seconds and gave her answer.
I think it's because the green hedgehog boy doesn't want to play alone anymore.
This is the end of the story, everyone. Thank you so much for your listening. Please follow, subscribe, and share Zea Chou's Stories for Kids. Wish you have a good day and see you later.